Hey friends, this is Becca with Beautiful Mess Plans. I'm here to film a reading journal update. I did one of these like with my last reading journal last year, but I haven't done one with this one. I haven't done one lately, so I thought that we would play catch up because I just finished a book. So I thought we'll see how many books that I finish before I need to edit and post this video and go from there. So this, for those that don't know, is my reading journal. It is an A5 Stalogy. And we'll kind of flip through it, but I also, like I said, finished a book, so I'm also going to kind of fill out some stuff, and yeah, we'll go from there, kind of go where the video takes us. So a lot of the stuff that I use, like this paper and stuff, was from last year's March Cocoa Daisy kit, so it was like a book theme, obviously. And here is my bookshelf, which I don't have a rhyme or reason for what I color and when I color it, and I have like my core colors that I'm using, but I'm not like, oh, well, this was a 5-star book, this was a 4-star book. You know, I don't do anything like that. Partly because I give a lot of half stars, and I wasn't sure how I'd want to color half stars in. So I just kind of color one that I haven't done in a couple books and call it good. And then, nope, the book I read was an F, and obviously doesn't fit. And it was a library book, so it's not part of my unread. So let's come over here to my calendar. So I started it on April 30th. So we'll start with this. And I usually just write the book at the beginning, even though this is going to overlap into this next section, which I did not. Oh, wait. Do I have it? I'll have to look to see if I have my dot marker. If not, then we'll have to leave that part out. But I don't know that I have my dot marker in my bag. And I'll just have to do that later, because I do dot markers down the side. But I use my gray one, and I think it would appear that is upstairs. So I'll have to fill that part out later, which is fine. And I finished it today, which is May 3rd. And like I said, we'll just see how many books I read before I need to edit and publish this video. And yeah, so I mean, technically I read another book today in the form of a book that my son wanted me to read. He's been reading the I Survived books and he loves them, which is great, but he wants me to read them too. So he handed me I told him, as soon as I'm done with my book, I will read your book. It was like I Survived, I think it was like something to do with Pompeii, Vesuvius explosion, which I think he wants me to read it because, if you don't know this about me, I have a history degree and I love history. I think it's fascinating and I think it's important and there's a lot of value in it. And they have kind of gotten into history. We, you know, talk about different time periods and how important it is, and we need to learn from the past, and, you know, lots of things. But I think all the I Survived books are historical events, in case you don't know this. And so he's like, what do you know about this event? So the one he's reading now, which is called like the Children's Blizzard, like, buddy, I've never heard of that one. He goes, I know something you don't. And I'm like, well, yeah. But anyways, I read the Pompeii book today because I promised him I would while he was at school. It's like 95 pages, so it took me like 0 time at all. But I read it after I finished my book today. But I am not going to count it towards my reading goal. I don't feel like that's fair. So, yeah, I did read that today. But I have a new book picked out, another library book, because I gotta get through my library books, because several of them were like popular ones that have holds on them, which means I cannot renew it. So I gotta get to reading. I think it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you can tell, I had filled up the last of my of my book review sections, so I am having to put them together now so I can write it in. Obviously, I can do 4 at a time. Those are bulky. I can do 4 at a time. Let's see, that's on 8. So, yeah, that is how I do it. And then I don't have to do it like every single book I read, because I tried to do like book journals that like a full page, and I just didn't want to devote my time to it. It's getting hard to write over with those stars. So this works pretty well for me. I'll have to change how I'm doing it like next year, because if I put too much in like one spot, it does start to bulk it up. And I think I should definitely still be in this notebook next year. So, yeah, I'll change what my review sheets look like for next year. And these are stars that I made myself. I've been thinking about actually printing them on the transparent, just because putting the same thing in the same spot over and over does eventually bulk it up quite a bit. And then this is just a little envelope that I have from Sterling Ink. I printed out a bunch of book covers for books that are on my to-read list, either I own or on my library list, and that way they're already kind of pre-printed, and I print out a whole sheet at once. I just size it down in Publisher, and then just put, get all my book covers, and yeah. So that's how I do it. And then I just keep it in the back, but it was getting kind of bulky, so I needed to take it out to finish this. I had to blow my nose again because, allergies are fun. And then let's see, dates. Read. And I read it from April 30th to May 3rd. There were, I always write down my page numbers, 470 pages, and then I gave it 3.5 stars. Don't come at me if you hated this book. Or loved this book, or hated it, I guess. The thing about books is, like, they're just so dependent on the person and what you like and what you're interested in. It's just, books are hard because some people, like, feel very passionate and love certain books, and other people are like, not having it. All right, anyway, I am now going to work on my review, and most likely I'm just going to put a bunch of these together depending on how many books I read, and then at the very end we'll come back and see where it ends up. So I am back. It has been, you know, a few books in. The only thing I have left to mark is that I started a book and I DNF'd a book. And I do mark that. I do not put like color or anything on it. It just, oh, it was not working for me. So when Grumpy Met Sunshine. I don't know if anyone has read it. It came out in like February. I got it from the library and I tried it and I could not. So let's go back here because I do have a section where I have a DNF section. That way, if I ever see the book again, then I'm like, is that familiar? And I look through and I'm like, I haven't read it though. I can check my DNF list to see if I have. Okay, so we did some more coloring. I think we were able to fill in this one and this one maybe, so a little bit more there. Checked off another book, 2 books in this area. And, oh, and I did buy some books. So I bought The House of Sky and Breath, The Summer Girl, and Gentleman's Gambit. We went to the bookstore not that long ago. And yeah, so I read, I think you saw me fill in pretty much all these except for, did you see me fill in Finale? I don't think so. But yeah, so that is how I do my reading journal. Pretty simple. I print out my books covers on like transparent sticker paper. I just format it. I just measured like how big I wanted it to be and I scale it down and I print like an entire sheet of like an 8.5 by 11 sheet at once so I don't waste any paper. That's why I don't currently have this book cover because I have book site covers I need to print and I don't print them one at a time. So, and then I just market this stars I made for myself. If you guys are interested, at some point I could list them in the shop, but I don't have them listed currently. And yeah, I just put the dates and how many pages because I do calculate up. Well, I give my average star rating and then I also give how many pages I read. And then I just write like a quick little thing about my books. So yeah, that was the first half of May, more or less. I mean, the first little bit of May. It's currently the 13th. This video is going up on the, what is it? The 16th. And I will not finish. I would be shocked if I finished the book that I did start before then. So I'm just gonna like call it good here. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video of updating my reading journal with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.